Hi, Heather from Hooked on Pickin' here. I wanted to share with you some of the awkward moments that occasionally happen when picking at retail stores. You ever been in the cashier line and the cashier looks at you and says, "Wow, you must be having a party. You're buying 70 of this particular item." Or they look at you and go, "What are you going to use these for?" And you're stuck at a loss. You're like, I don't know what to say. So I have been in those moments occasionally, and so I'm going to give you some of the things that I often say that generally either continue conversation or stops the conversation right there because you don't want to divulge what you're doing. So number one, the best thing to say, in my opinion, is to just tell them exactly what you're doing. When you're at a Walmart in the checkout line and they ask, "Why are you buying 70 party packs?" or "Why are you buying 50 pairs of underwear that have superheroes on them?" Just simply look at them and say, "Well, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom, or I make money from home, or I work from home, and I ship these into Amazon and I flip them for a profit." Generally, that has the best results because they will give you hints on when department managers put things on clearance. They will introduce you to department managers, and you start to build a relationship. And so number one, I would say, just tell the truth. Let them know exactly what you're doing, because a lot of times the managers want to get rid of their clearance items, and so they will think of you and remember you when it comes to doing those things, and you can build some relationships. I also have a particular vendor who owns a warehouse, and he buys truckloads of things, and I kid you not, he goes to auctions thinking specifically of me in mind when he buys particular items. He buys a lot of big furniture items, but he knows I only ship in smaller items, and so he will actually bid on different things which he considers to be smaller items for his business, just because he knows I may come in and purchase them from him. So that's the best thing. Just let him know what you're doing. The other thing that I have found that works really, really well is I have made the comment when they ask, "What are you going to do with these? Are you having a party? Are these gifts?" Because, the other day I bought, I think about 70 little bottle openers, different shapes and things like that. And they were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I said, "Don't worry, I'm going to get rid of these very quickly." And that's all I say. They don't know if I'm giving them as gifts. They don't know if I am selling them. They have no idea, but generally that is sufficient enough for the cashier, and they just move along. One thing that I found really, really helpful is when buying something, start talking about it. The other day I found these tiny little sodas that I was going to be able to flip in a 12-pack for a really good profit, and so as soon as they got on there, I had a ton of them. I just looked at her and said, "Aren't these the cutest? I just thought they were so funny." And because you're buying so many of them and you make that comment, generally they don't ask why you're buying them. And so starting a conversation about what you're buying sometimes is often very helpful, because they're a cashier, they're curious. They want to know, why are you buying so many of the same things? And so those are some of the things that I say and do. The biggest one is, just telling the truth. And then another one that I usually use from time to time is I will say, "Well, I just think somebody is going to be able to use them at some point in time." When you're buying 50 sets of vitamins or 100 packs of Band-Aids, or the biggest one is toothpaste. When I'm buying like 50 boxes of toothpaste because they're only $1 a piece in the clearance aisle. So a lot of times I'll just say, "Well, I just think so eventually they will get used up," And so sometimes I buy, a few extra for myself, especially if it's a really good deal in the clearance aisle. So those are some things that I do to be able to continue to have a conversation, because the last thing you want to do when you're going through a cashier's line is to be rude and to not say anything to them at all. You've got to be friendly and make it fun. And so you can build some fun relationships, let them know what you're doing. It's really a good time. But I have definitely been in those moments where you're like, I don't know what to say. I'm buying this really strange thing that really doesn't fit me, but just letting them know either why you're buying it, or just saying, "Well, eventually I think these things will be used, so they were a good deal, so I'm just buying them." So anyway, I hope that helps, and I hope this alleviates a few of the awkward moments that you have going through the cashier's line. And remember, in the end, Jesus wins. Thanks. Have a good day.